So let's just take a few minutes with the use of our breath, our natural breathing, and in and out, we're going to bring our awareness into this beautiful space, get our bodies settled in our meditation posture, hands on our laps, one palm on top of the other, thumbs touching, feet on the floor or comfortably crossed, however you can sit like that. Eyes slightly open, head slightly lowered, shoulders level, spine straight yet relaxed. And really connect to being an embodied being. How does your body feel right now in this position? Take some time to connect with it. This little, as the Buddha says, this guest house called the body that our minds inhabit through the course of this life. And let's just connect with that guest house and the mind that inhabits it, using the breath as the guide to keep us here in the present moment. And as many times as that mind wants to take us away to a thought, to a feeling, to an emotion, or if any of our sense consciousnesses want us to get carried away by the sense of smell or sound or taste or touch, gently bring the awareness back to the inhalation and the exhalation of your breath without any judgment or evaluation on how you're doing. And so let's reconnect to our motivation for why we came here this weekend. Perhaps there was a curiosity. Perhaps there was a sense of urgency, a sense of unrest and disturbance in the mind. Maybe there was a need to connect to your spiritual aspiration that you've kind of lost track of due to the busyness of life. And to deeply connect with the understanding that whatever that was, it is the basis for our deepest desire to be happy and not suffer, as we've been hearing so far this weekend again and again, this fundamental yearning of all living beings, no matter what shape, no matter what size, no matter what species, no matter their activities of body, speech, or mind, all compelled to seek happiness and not suffer. And as we connect deeply with our own deep desire to find that happiness, to find the freedom from suffering that perhaps will last longer than just a few minutes or a few hours. Let's really also deeply understand that if we can get to the place in our minds that we can find the causes and conditions to create happiness in our life, and the causes and conditions that bring suffering, and to learn how to eliminate or at least avoid them, by extension, everyone that we meet, everyone that we engage with, will have some sort of beneficial, something will be of benefit for them because we're connected to our own good hearts, our own deep wish, our longing to find peace, contentment, wisdom, and compassion, and to put down all those parts of ourselves that just are not helpful, that get in the way of us really attaining our deepest spiritual aspirations. And there will be a resonance with others as they see us begin to embody our deepest heartfelt wish. And so by extension, like a little pebble in a large pond, to know that we have impact on others, that we can extend ourselves moment by moment and use every opportunity as we engage with living beings to share our growing aspiration, our growing understanding of what deeply matters for us, and by extension will deeply matter for others. And may this weekend really give us the tools, the skill, maybe some insights and some practices that will really progress our journey along that path to final awakening, which is indeed the ultimate happiness, the ultimate freedom from all forms of dukkha. And to wish that for each and every living being. Just connect with that deep wish, your deep goodness, and the deep wish and goodness of others. And so we're going to take someone that we probably during the course of the day would prefer not to think about. But we're going to think of someone we're afraid of, who we think is irredeemably obnoxious. When they come in the room, we go in the other direction. When we think of them, all sorts of afflicted, unsettling emotions and thoughts arise. So bring that someone to mind. It could be a friend, family member, neighbor, someone at work, someone at school, someone in the community, someone on the national, international stage. And as you do this, watch how the mind solidifies your image of that person so that every time you think of them, they are always like that. They have no other qualities or characteristics, no other sides to them. They are just through and through evil, or whatever it is you attribute to them. Look at how they appear like that coming from their own side. And now imagine that same person when they were a baby. Use your imagination. And think of how the environment they were born into conditioned them in so many ways, so that even as they came out of the womb, they were already being guided in some direction. They didn't have any opportunity to learn otherwise. And then think of them as old people who are maybe getting dementia and who know they're getting dementia, which is more scary when you're aware enough to know that you're having it. Along with that, dealing with the suffering of aging and the fear they have approaching death. And think that as they're dying, this whole karmic bubble that they've been in this life is disappearing. They've had a lifetime and now it is finished completely. And they're going to their next life simply with the karma they've created and the seeds of the afflictions in their minds that they habituated themselves to. And the person they become in the next life is not the same person as they were in this life. Totally different body, totally different mental aggregates, a new karmic bubble appearing. Just some sentient being totally controlled by their afflictions and karma. And when you try and think of them in their next life, you don't know what kind of body they will have. Certainly not the one of this life. Maybe a gopher, maybe a stink bug. Who knows what they'll be? Regardless, there'll still be some sentient being under the control of afflictions and karma who wants to be happy and in their ignorance continues to create the cause for misery. That you can be sure of. So seeing them like that, see if maybe some compassion for them arises, some understanding of their plight, some wish that they be free of what their afflictions and karma are constantly creating for them. And just like them, so are we. So are all other sentient beings, under the control of afflictions, karma, running straight towards the causes for suffering and our confusion on where we think the causes for happiness lie. No different. And perhaps you find that somehow unendurable. And perhaps you feel that you must try and do something. And so, with that thought, generate this vast bodhicitta mind, wishing to be of benefit to each and every living being, recognizing that awakening is really the best way to do that. And put your energy in that most noble of all directions, having great fortitude, knowing it's going to take you a while to accomplish that goal of full awakening. And although you will be of the greatest benefit as a fully awakened Buddha, you won't be able to snap your fingers and make everything change suddenly. So feel some kind of courage grow in your heart. You'll have to be able to endure that and to work to change it at the same time without any type of discouragement or despondency. Really connect with that courage. And then let's dedicate whatever insights, whatever virtue, whatever understanding we might have found within ourselves doing this meditation